Andre here from Create in Spain with another Shortcuts a Lot tutorial. Now, I decided I wanted to create a design that had layers in it, and I also decided I wanted to, in my case, use a stamp that I had made. And I wanted to use the stamp in different ways, so I come up with this design. And what I want to do is to show you how I did all these bits, the shapes and things, and to give you some other ideas to go with it. Now, if I take this apart, you can see, hopefully, that it is in pieces. So the idea is this is the front panel. Now, it is slightly smaller than the complete side of the card. How big or small you make it is your personal choice, but I've just made it a little bit smaller than the card front that I would intend to use. And what I wanted was to create a layered effect. So my idea was to start off with one at the top, and then to put a layer on top which went in the middle, and then a layer which went on the bottom, but all using the same design. Now, I thought that may be just a little bit too much, so I think when I make it I will probably take this one out and simply use the top one and the bottom one. And then I thought, well, actually, when I make the stamp, I could put the sentiment in with the flowers. So I came up with this one, and this is the design that I wanted to go for in the end. And I'll just make that a little bigger so that you can actually see it. And so that's what I've actually done, used both those pieces, and I'm not using the others for this particular project. So I'm just going to go back to the window. Now, anyone who has seen my recent videos knows that I make my own polymer stamps, but there is a very simple way of doing this, and to do that I'm going to go to page 3 where I've got some things set up. Right, now here is my basic card front, and all I'm going to do is to make that smaller, tick the keep proportions and make it a bit smaller. I generally take it down to about there. That will do. Now, this is a design that I drew freehand with my app for my iPad, which is called Concepts. It's not one I developed, believe me, because I don't develop these things, but I use it. And this can be seen a bit better if I make it a bit bigger. As that I intend to make this into a stamp, and I will make it in the correct size. But you could use any type of linear image like this that you want. You don't have to make it into a stamp. You could make it as a digi-stamp, of course, or you could just do a print and cut. The choice is yours, really. So, assuming that I want to use this particular one, and I've decided more or less what size I want it. This is obviously way too big. So let me pull this to one side a second and click on this one. Okay, now if you want to keep the proportions the same, don't forget to check the keep proportions. But this is only demonstration, so I'm not really that worried. Okay, that would be, to me, round about the right size. So this is my base card, and I need something to put this on. So I just need to draw a rectangle. And all I need to do is make sure that it is the same width as this one. Now you can put the numbers into the boxes. I'm just eyeballing it at the moment. But I obviously don't want it to be as tall as this one. So I'm going to put this down a bit. Okay. And then if I grab this and I put that on, yeah, that's roughly what I would want. But at the moment, of course, this is going to be cut lines, and obviously that's not what I intend to have. So I need to go to the effects and go to the shadow layer contour cut. And in this instance, I want to choose the rounded shadow, and I want to make that a little bigger. And yeah, that would, oops, I didn't click on that again, did I? No, I didn't. Go on, back down. Oops, gone too far now. Obviously my keyboard is being a tad sensitive this morning. Okay, that will do. And now if I pull this shadow away, now in this particular instance, it's not got any little lines inside. Sometimes they do, in which case break it apart and just drag them away. But in this particular case, it doesn't. And if I line this one up, what I'm going to do is just change the colour of this to something more visible. There we go. And if I take these two and I use the position and size window to line it up in the middle and at the bottom. There we go. So now I need to join this up one way or the other. There we go, that would do. So I'm going to remove this blue one out of the way, take both of those, go to the path and go to union. And make that a more interesting colour again. It always does this when you put the shadows in. Actually, I use no colour. And I'll take the colour out of this. It's a bit easier. Right. So we have our main panel, we have our front panel, and we have our design, which we can put into place. Okay, now for the bit where I show you how to make the sentiment part out of a patterned area. Now this happens to be a square shape, but it could be any shape. It doesn't necessarily have to have any kind of outline around it. But it does need to be a compound path or a path which is being unionized depending on what software you're using. So I have a sentiment that I want to put in the middle of this. But if I do take this particular sentiment and just drag it over, you can see that you really can't see it. So it would be fairly pointless. Now there's two things that I want to do to make this better. Now the first one involves making sure the keep proportions is checked, making this considerably bigger, then go into the effects and then using the shadow layer. Now doing this, I can put a shadow on it that will make these finer lines thicker but won't make them too thick because I'm putting a very small shadow on it really. So if I take this shadow up to 350 or 550, that's a bit too much. I'll take it down to 350. Now, of course, if you want to, you can edit the values in here. You don't have to stick to what's put there. And I'm just going to go to OK. Now I'm going to select that in its entirety and go to Path Union, because that is now going to be my lettering, just solid shape as it is, like so. Now make sure the keep proportions is still checked. Depending on how you've got your preferences set up, it may not be, like mine wasn't. And make it whatever size it is that you want. Now it's slightly better and it's a little clearer, but it is still not completely what I want. So I'm going to select both of these, go to Effects, and then I'm going to go to Knockout. I'm not going to use the preview because I know pretty much what this is going to do, and the preview tends to take a little while. I am going to kind of overdo this, but I'm going to put in a gap of 0.2 centimetres, so 2 millimetres, and click on OK. And it will do its stuff. I forgot. And I'm always forgetting to do this. What I need to do is take a copy of that. Copy and paste. There we go. I should know better. I should have it tattooed on my forehead by now. Copy, copy, copy. Right, take this, go to the effects, go to the knockout, 0.2 and click OK. There we are. It'll do it in a second. Now you want to pull away the background so you can junk this bit. Okay, that's gone. And now you place your sentiment back in to the hole. And you can fiddle around until you get it pretty much where you want. And if you want to get it really precise, then zoom in to move it around. You'll get it in place a lot easier if you zoom in. And take this, and there we go. And as you can see, that shows up considerably better. And I'm just going to go to the fit to the window. Because you have this little offset around it, it looks like it's part of it and not just plunked there. So that is how to do it. Now, in the case of the page 1, where have we got it? Okay, I'll take this one. Okay, copy, go to page 3 and paste. So just going to do this one now. Going to get my text. There we are. Now in this particular case, I'm going to make that a lot bigger, but I still want to put my text in the middle, and as you can see, it does get completely and utterly lost. So going to check my keep proportions, make this bigger, okay, effects, add the shadow layer, and let's see how big we can get. Yes, we can get away with that. Okay, select all of that and go to path, union, and that's my hello. I'm going to make sure that this is made into a union path as well. It already is, because it's not coming up as one of my options. And again, check the keep proportions if you're concerned about that. And stick that in the middle, or wherever it is you want it to go. Round about there will be right. Select, oh, hang on, nearly made the same mistake. Copy it, paste it, drag it to one side. Right, now select it and go to the effects, go to the knockout, and apply whatever offset you want around your wording. Now you can click the preview if you want, but it does take a few seconds to actually work this out. And it doesn't really show you too well because obviously you need to put your word back in. But I'm just going to go OK for that. And now I'm going to select my pattern, take it to one side, remove the innards that were taken out, and then I'm going to, oops, come on, grab, move this in, move this in somewhere there, and zoom in so I can place it more accurately. And around about there, I think. Probably. There we go. And now view as fit to window. Or I could do view actual size. There we go. So that is how to do it. How to get your text to stand out against a very detailed background. I hope you found that useful, and I hope you have a go at the front type of card as well, and try doing the multi-cut layers. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.